Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, Martians and aliens. We're not speciesists on this channel. Everybody's welcome. My name's Alan, and welcome to Mars, the Second Genesis. Well guys, I know it's been a few weeks since I posted a video, and I thought I'd just update you before this tutorial that I've not been too well. So nothing's happened with the channel, it's just I've not been well. The rumours of me being kidnapped by aliens is definitely not true. So I've got some bits and pieces ready in the pipeline for you to see. But it's going to take a wee bit to get it ready for publication. So I'll apologise for that, but they will be out as soon as I get them ready. So today we're going to be talking about sharpening. First of all, we'll look at what sharpening is and the different ways we can sharpen various images. Just to get something straight, there is no such thing as sharpening. The only way you can truly sharpen an image by properly focusing the lens when you're taking the image. That's the only way you can sharpen an image. The most important piece of advice that I could give you about getting a sharp image is get it right in camera. In Photoshop, they refer to it as sharpening, but what it's actually doing is it's enhancing the contrast on the edge to give the illusion of sharpening. What does sharpening actually do? Well, let's have a wee look. This was an image I took up in the Fife district of Scotland. What we'll do is we'll zoom in a bit. And we'll take a wee look at what sharpening actually does. So the most common way of sharpening is by choosing Unsharp mask. Normally you would set this to round about 1 pixel and the amount of 100 or thereabouts. You can click the preview button on and off and you can see basically it's giving the illusion of sharpening. Let's go back in again. We'll open up the Unsharp mask once again, and this time we'll do some extreme settings so that we can see what it's actually doing. This part of the roof here shows what it does to the edges. The Unsharp mask increases the contrast at the edges, giving the illusion of sharpening. So let's take a close look at the roof and we'll see what it's actually doing. So as you can see, round about the chimney, you'll see this white halo. What has happened is the Unsharp mask has actually lightened the sky around the roof, making that white halo. And the edge of the roof has been made darker, and this gives the illusion of sharpening the image, but it's not. It only looks that way. This image here was taken by an entry-level Nikon D5200 camera with the kit lens. This garbage here is a NASA image from Sol 136, and it was taken by the right Mastcam, which costs millions of pounds, and that's the sort of garbage they want us to believe that that camera is capable of. Come on, NASA, who are you trying to kid? So, how would we sharpen this? Well, as I say, there is no such thing as proper sharpening, but I'm going to show you 3 of the main methods I use without using external plugins. I'm just going to use what's available in Photoshop. So our first method is we're going to do Unsharp mask. So you go into filter, go down to sharpen and choose Unsharp mask. In a normal image, you would have the amount at around about 100% and your pixel round about 1. With these images, it doesn't do anything because the image just looks so bad. So what I recommend you to do is, if you're going to use Unsharp mask, go maybe about 2.5 pixels, somewhere in that ballpark, click OK and you're good to go. Now all these images has been sharpened by NASA and compressed, so no matter what you do, they're not going to look great. What we're looking for here is just to bring out some of the detail that's in the image. The next way is known as the high pass sharpening. What you do is you press Ctrl J to duplicate your layer here, and you then go to filter, down to other, and select high pass. And you'll see all this here, it goes grey. Now take that down to maybe, that looks about okay, 0.8 say. Click OK, and then press Ctrl Shift U to get rid of the colour, and then make sure you've selected this grey area or the high pass layer and change your blending mode to soft light. And there we go. If you press the eyeball here, you can see before and after. So let's zoom in. You can zoom in by using your scroll wheel or pressing Ctrl and your plus key. By clicking the wee eyeball, you can see before and after. So that's the second method. There is no one shoe fits all here. What type of sharpening you do depends on your image. If it's a NASA image, the next way of sharpening, this is the way I would do it. But the most common way I use is by blurring. And you might think, wait a minute, we're talking about sharpening. This guy's lost his marbles. Well, watch this. Press Ctrl J and make an additional 2 layers. On your top layer, press Ctrl I to invert the image, i.e. make it a negative. Select Vivid Light, and it goes all grey. Then go into Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. We'll take it, we'll go about 2 and click OK. Then select that layer, press the Shift key and select that layer and press Ctrl G to group it. Then change your blending mode to Overlay. And that has sharpened the image quite well. Now let's look at before and after by pressing the eyeball. Pretty neat, yeah? So that's one of the best ways to sharpen your image. It doesn't go crazy. Now, you can do some extreme sharpening here. Let me show you. We'll do this again, but we'll do it a wee bit more extreme. Press Ctrl J and G again, and that will give us our 3 layers. On the top layer, we press Ctrl I to invert it. Then change the blending mode to vivid light. Then go to filter, blur, Gaussian, and we'll take that up to, we'll say 4. Now this is quite extreme. OK that. Then we'll do the same again. Press the Shift key to select both these layers. Press Ctrl G to group them. And then select Overlay. Now that was quite extreme. We've sharpened the image. Now we're starting to get what they call halos. And this is something you do not want. See the way we've got a white edge there? And we're starting to get a kind of black halo around that. Well, that has been sharpened too much. But if you look into the sand, you can see it starts to bring out what's going on below the sand. You can clearly see that's not a sand dune. So it has its uses. So there's more than just one way to sharpen an image. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to automate this way of sharpening. In Photoshop, you can automate tasks in 3 ways. One is actions, 2 is batch processing, and the other one is what they call droplets. Now even some of the advanced Photoshop users don't even know what a droplet is, but it's very cool. But we're not going to get into that today. What I'm going to do is show you how to create an action. So when you want to sharpen this way, you just press one button, it'll do it for you. Okay, so what we do, go into the Actions palette. If you don't see it, go into Window and down to Actions. I've got it on my other screen, so I'll bring it in and I'll show you. So the first thing we're going to do is press this wee icon at the bottom. And we'll call it Sharpening. And when we press enter, you'll see at the bottom of the Actions palette, you'll see a wee red light. Now that indicates that we are now recording, but we're not recording time. It only records the things I do. In other words, any commands. Like if I go into the filter menu and do something, it will record that. But I can go away, take the dog out for a walk, come back in, and then continue. It will no record time, it only records actions. That's why it's called actions, I think. So what we'll do, I'll just move that to on my other screen just now so you can see what I'm doing in the layers palette. So press Ctrl J twice, then Ctrl I to invert it. Change to vivid light. Go into filter, blur, Gaussian, and we'll highlight it and just select 2 and OK that. Then press the Shift key and select the second layer. Press Ctrl G to group it and then set our blending mode to overlay. And then we can stop the action. And let's just say this is another image. Let's just say I want to sharpen this image now. All I do is on my Actions palette, select Sharpening and press play. And voila, it did it for me. And if we look at our history palette, you can see it's applied all those commands or actions that I've done, and we've now got it sharpened with a click of a button. I have got tons of actions I've made over the years, so I can work very quickly in Photoshop. And if you're going to be doing something like this, I would recommend you to record what you're doing so that you've got it for a later date, and all you do is you select the action, click the play button, and let Photoshop do it for you. So with that, guys, that'll finish the video. I hope this has helped you to be able to understand sharpening a wee bit more. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.